Hey everyone, this is Jasmine. I'm a counselor in training and also a Reiki practitioner. My Instagram handle is Pluto Alchemist, and if you would like to find out more about me or what I do, I'm gonna leave my details below so you can check them out. So I've been seeing counseling clients now for almost more than a week or two. I have to say it is more exhausting than I thought it would be, but also it has been extremely rewarding. I think the theme generally is to hold space for people, to allow the parts of them, to allow themselves that usually are not really being accepted by the people around them, by the people generally in society. Just allow them to talk, to just express how they feel and express their true thoughts, their true emotions. I mean, to be honest, sometimes it just feels to me like I wasn't really doing anything much. But at the same time, when I try to recall how I was when I was in the past and how I was younger, like even myself, I felt like I've been conditioned by the society to accept and to not accept certain things, and in turn I will be judging people based on the things that they share, based on their thoughts and their feelings, like also judge and reject certain emotions, certain thoughts. And where I am right now is actually through a lot of hard work, a lot of counseling and therapy sessions for myself, working through my internal thoughts, my internal feelings, and also accepting my own parts, who I am, all parts of myself, even though sometimes society may perceive them as not good, as unacceptable. Yeah, I mean, all of that, I feel like that actually led me to become who I am right now, able to hold space for myself, stop judging myself and seeing certain things as unacceptable, as being shameful or embarrassing, and in turn I'm able to just sit with my clients, really providing a non-judgmental and safe space. And I mean, how I perceive it in sessions itself, it really felt like I wasn't doing anything much, but in fact when I start to think back, all of the effort, all of the money, all of the really painful process I did for myself actually led me to who I am now. And I have to say, if I were to perceive it that way, it wasn't easy lah. I've heard so many people who wants to be a counselor, who thinks that they can be a counselor, but in fact they haven't gone through certain journey like how I did for myself. I mean, obviously it's not all of them, but sometimes when I talk to certain, I can actually feel subtly they are judging me for who I am. At the same time, they think that they actually know better. So I mean, this is a very tricky and slippery road to go down to lah, because I mean, when clients come into counseling session, they actually put their full trust in us, because no matter what, why they are even seeking counseling in the first place is because they want a therapeutic and non-judgmental space, and also they are kind of expecting the counselor, your therapist, to actually lead you, and at the same time they are actually placing their trust in us, which I feel like it is so important for counselors or therapists to work on themselves as a person first. I mean, just besides that, right, sometimes it did make me very sad to actually hear them saying like, you know what, I feel so silly. I feel if I say this kind of things to the people around me, they might see me like as alien, thinking that I'm weird, this is unacceptable. It just makes me feel really very sad, like how can the society in general do better? And most of all, what I want to share is that a lot of the clients, and also to be honest, if I were to like widen the spectrum, a lot of the people around me are always wanting to move forward, always wanting to be a better version of themselves, always wanting to get into a place where they perceive as their happily ever after, be it like having a good relationship with my family, having a good relationship with my spouse, with my partner, or even in career, like I want to earn a certain amount of money, I want to be in a better environment with better colleagues, why can't they just treat me better? I mean, like, it's all understandable, because if you are in a place where we perceive things could be better, of course, obviously there's gonna be something that we want to look forward to, because after all, who doesn't want a great life, right? But at the same time, like, also hearing all of this and then reflecting back on myself, like I was in not a good headspace, not in a good emotional space back then when I so-called hit kind of like a dark pit lah, career wise, like 2-3 years ago, where I shared before, I quit my job not knowing where I should be. I felt a lot of uncertainty, I felt a lot of instability in my life, in my career, and even more so when, you know, how we actually need to earn money, we actually need an income to survive, to actually actually feel safe, and I was always like, eagerly searching, what is the next thing? What is the thing that sparks joy in me, that is my passion, that can provide me with fulfillment, that can provide me with a stable income, so I feel safe, so I feel certain, so I feel like I can finally exhale and stop holding my breath. So I've been like searching and searching and searching, and at the same time, because like the need to search for that certainty and that safety was so strong in me, to the extent when I was in my last job and I was extremely unhappy, even on the verge of burnout, I actually hang on to my job because I don't know what's next. I couldn't figure out what was next, and that's why I hang on to what it is now, even though it's causing havoc in my system. It was causing havoc to both my mental health and my body, but it is always wanting to reach that place of happily ever after that just keep pushing on. And to be honest, I was probably in that space for a very, very long time. But at the same time, if you know about how spiritual journey works, if you know how, lessons on earth work in our life, I always see it in two ways. There is one kind of experience that was supposed to propel you forward, like for example, meeting the right boss who recognizes the capability in you and, promote you, for example, to give you that career progression that you were seeking out. So experiences like this are supposed to propel you forward. And on the other hand, challenges that you encounter in life are here to serve as a lesson for you to learn something from it. From then, the path onwards, you are gonna have a different kind of clarity, different kind of awareness after learning from that lessons. At least from my lens, this is the type of two experiences that you can have in life. And I was very eager at one point of my life, wanting to propel forward, so much so that I said like, you know what, just give me the hardest lesson, just give me the hardest challenges so that I can stop being stagnant. And especially, I hate being in the uncertainty. I hate being in a place where I perceive to be really unsafe. And I have to say, I've gotten one of the most biggest lessons, of the biggest challenge in my life. I really don't know if it's for my entire life, and it felt like it was too big for me to handle, and that was how it felt like. And I remember after the whole saga ended, I just spent so much time and so much crying, so much like emotional regulation for myself to actually recover from it. And it was so traumatic to the extent that I asked myself, why did I actually ask for this? Why did I actually put myself through this? I mean, it transformed me to a better version of myself. It gave me so much clarity and so much awareness, but at the same time, I questioned, why did I put myself through this? Why did I ask for this? The bigger the challenge, the more you learn, the more you gain from it, obviously. But why? Like, why did I put myself through such a traumatic thing just so that I can transform faster? And it was at that moment that everything clicked. Like, you know what? Yes, I want to be a better version of myself. Yes, I want a better future. Yes, I want to be safe, to be somewhere that I feel like I can finally breathe. But in every stage of your life, in every phase that you are in, the moment you transform, you can't get back that time ever again. You can't get back that version of yourself ever again. So it started to make me think, like, why am I so eager to transform? Why can't I just stay in the present? Why am I forever looking forward to the future? Because the moment you transform, the moment you get to the goal that you were eyeing for, and once you got there, the next thing you know, you are actually setting new goals for yourself, new KPIs for yourself, wanting to transform again, wanting to go again. So my question is like, why are we doing this to ourselves? Why can't we just appreciate and cherish right now, even though it may not be perfect, even though you are still not your best version, even though it may not be the ideal situation that you paint in your head? So why? And it was at that moment that I made up my mind. I want to stay in the moment. I want to cherish what is it now. I want to cherish what it is now. And I just want to be in the moment and enjoy life. Enjoy what is. Recently, I feel like I've heard so many people sharing with me, be it clients or not, that it's so easy to get swept off your feet by what the society perceives is important. Like, even if you go for interviews, people will ask you, what do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you see yourself in 10 years? But not much people actually say like, how are you right now? What's in your life right now that you love? What is it that you can enjoy right now? And like, even for myself, and as easy as like, I mean, if you're from Singapore, you definitely had heard of this Singapore hustle culture, where people are just, you know, working harder and harder for fearing that if the next person works harder than you, you will just be left behind. Maybe there wouldn't even be any jobs for you because you couldn't compete with the person who are willing to forsake their life, forsake their family, forsake their personal time, their so-called work-life balance, their self-care. And there's always this fear that we all might get left behind because you just didn't work hard enough. You might have even heard of the last generation always saying things like, you are young, you should work hard enough now. You are young, your body can take it. This is the time where you should work hard. This is the time that you have not much commitment in life. Just commit to your work hard enough, and you can enjoy in the future. I mean, I'm not that young and I'm not exactly that old, but being told that of almost my whole life, I've also felt like I've been looked down or despised or like being judged for a big part of my younger days just because I couldn't work as hard as my peers, and I don't engage with the mentality of like suffer now, enjoy later. And to be honest, I feel sad for some people, especially the younger ones, and even more so for people around my age or older who just couldn't see through that this belief is just an illusion. For all of your life, for all of the time that you subscribe to this idea, is eating your life away by the time when you wake up and you realize that, hey, this is not actually my true value, my true belief. It is the society and I just merely adopt it. And by the time you wake up, right, by the time you woke up, you realize that you couldn't get back the time that you have invested so much in trying to build the future that you forgot about the now. Even for myself, like I sort of have a vague idea of what I want, what I'm trying to build here, what I'm trying to do. Sometimes I just get swept off by the hustle culture as well, like trying to put out content, thinking about what content to put out next week, worrying about not enough clients that I cannot graduate, worrying my skills are not good enough, that I'm not good enough for my clients. And there's this yearning, there's this voice inside of me is like, you gotta get better fast, you gotta see more clients now. And from time to time, I still feel my body is protesting, my mind is protesting, because my mind has been constantly going around like, hey, you know what, I haven't done enough for my social media, I haven't done enough for my clients, there are like assignments, I'm at this module that I'm not good at, I have to put in more energy, more time, more effort, if not maybe I couldn't pass this module. And still it's all trying to contribute to the future. Not saying that you should abandon this idea entirely, but some part of us is gonna scream like, what about now? What about how you're feeling now? What about what your body wants now? What about your mind wanting a break now? So yeah, so if you've been watching till now, I would actually urge you or invite you to stop thinking about the future, even if it's just for a moment, for just 5 minutes, for just 15 minutes, I hope. Really recognize where you are right now, who you are right now, what is your body saying to you, what does your mind wants to go right now, before your mind jumps back into this hustle culture, wanting to do work for the future. Think again, what might be the next moment you are able to indulge yourself in the now. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!